Little baby girl, that's my little boo-boo. She's hot. That's little bub up there. She's 13, he's 14. They're my pride and joy. They're my whole world. And we're about to have a storm here in this area of Florida. It's supposed to be a 1 or 2 category, a lot of rain, but rain comes. Even like next year, even when it's not hurricane season, I ended up going through a few months for the rain. And when you're camping, you have to be prepared for that. You have to have a tarp and a tent, and maybe preferably a camper if you have that. But if you have to have a tent, then you have to get a tent with a tarp. You might be a little bit warm, but if you get fans that are battery operated, which this right here isn't, it's obviously a plug-in. You need to get the ones that are rechargeable, kind of like my headlamp. It's right here. I'm not showing my face in this video because my camera doesn't work in the front, so I'm just going to show you these guys and talk about it. And I'm from up north state, Michigan, okay, and I used to do a lot of state game area camping. And we had rain up in Michigan, of course we did, but we never had hurricanes. We had tornadoes moving forward, but I was only in a few tornadoes, but nothing that ever damaged my property. So you have to be aware when you're in Florida, the months of, late August to November, you never know when there's going to be one, and you never know when it's going to be a 1, 2, or 3. But right now, we're all sitting on this shutdown, storm surges, going to be a lot of rain kind of thing. So you have to prepare. So I got a lot of baggies. I put all my stuff in garbage bags plus another bag, and then it's set up. But normally, even if I had to be in a tent, I would just double bag them and then keep them up high. Last time that we had a storm and it was a lot of rain, it wasn't a hurricane, and I was camping with these guys. I put it up in a tree and I tied it with a rope, and I put it in a couple of different garbage bags, and then I put it in a big bag, plastic bag that is zipped like a bag, and I hung it, and nothing got wet because it was high up, and it was tied good to the tree, and it was just a good solid tree at that time. Now if it would have been a hurricane 3, I'd know that wouldn't happen, but I mean, I'm just talking about the after effects of a hurricane with a lot of rain. So the main thing is that you need to make sure that you're off the ground. Like, this is not off the ground, so it wouldn't work. If I would have it my way, I would have this on a platform like you see them in the factories and the stores, whatever they're called. I can't remember the name. And then you make sure you're high up, and then you make sure wherever you're in, you're up on a cot too on top of that in your tent. And then you make sure that, obviously, if you get a wall tent, that'd even be better if you're going to be in a rainstorm. And then build wood around it, like a lot of people do. These things right here are not made for that. So don't worry, I will not be in a Category 2 hurricane and be in a tent. I'm not dumb. But I'm just stating that, this is what our YouTube channels are about. And I love my animals. I love nature. And that's why my YouTube was going to be about nature, animals, healing at a soul level, getting into nature, being one with nature when you've been through something traumatic or something horrific, and learn to love yourself at a soul level. And that's what that means, because if you're not thinking about how pretty you are, maybe you got your face bashed in, maybe you've lost your looks in a relationship, maybe you lost a lot of weight, maybe you've gained a lot of weight, maybe you've had your face bashed in, maybe you just don't feel as pretty as you were before the fact because your spirit's been broken in your soul. Well, then you might need to go be with nature and be with your animals, and they love you unconditionally. They don't care what you look like or how much money you have. Then you get back to your middle ground and your soul, and you realize what's important. It's more your soul and your spirit, not your money and your looks and your materials, or the person that you thought loved you that doesn't. Just remember that I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Get in light, you never know what's going to happen. Like, it just got really sideways, meant to go over sunny, so it is what it is. What's going to happen in life. So you better prepare for the best for yourself and not always be a complete empath to the point where you give, and then when it's your turn and you have a situation, there's nobody there that you've given to give to you. You got to give to yourself first. You got to be good to yourself and your animals, and they love you. So note to self, always remember to take care of number 1, your babies, your soul and your spirit, God, and the universe, and then yourself. Love and light.